Hello. My name is Carney, and I wanted to do a little video on, I guess, a newcomer's perspective on Guilty Gear and just my general perspective on how I'm playing it right now. Um, this is very off the cuff. I don't have a script or anything. I just want to talk and put some music over it, maybe some gameplay. But yeah, for a bit of context, I originally started out as a Smash player. I made Joker in Smash Brothers, and I went to tournaments for that, and then got really bored, and then thought, oh, I'll play Guilty Gear. People playing that sounds fun. Guilty Gear Strive was my first fighting game that I really got invested into. I really thought the game was super fun, and had a lot of enjoyment with the mechanics and the movement and the meter, and a lot of it just really jived with me, and I was really happy when I eventually started to get competitive with it, right? I found like a local scene and then thought, okay, let's try really hard at this. Let's see if we can climb up the ranks. I am here to kind of discuss that. So, for a bit of background, I have played Ramlethal. I started the game out as playing Ramlethal. I then played Ramlethal all the way up until when Biken released, and then I tried some Biken, a little bit of Biken, and then I played Ramlethal again, and then when Johnny got announced, I was like, thinking about it, Johnny's moves are, as someone who did not really, obviously dive into Xrd, Johnny is someone who I thought was really cool. He's my most requested character, and I just wanted to see what would happen, if I played him. So, obviously, both one thing that Ramlethal and Johnny both have in common are their long range, and so I played Biken as well because she also has a sword. Because I feel like I had enough Ramlethal knowledge, but Biken I would say is more similar to Johnny than Ramlethal. It was something stupid in my head and just kind of prepared me. One thing I noticed when I was playing in that like 1 month session between when Johnny was announced and when Johnny was released was that I climbed further with Biken than I have with Ramlethal ever. I think the highest I got with Ramlethal was floor 7. And that was a big accomplishment for me because as somebody who's never played a real like fighting game before, I was like a traditional fighter. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So then Johnny releases, and I'm kind of struggling a little bit, but I know I love this character. He's so cool. I love his vibe. I dedicate so much time to him, and now the highest I've gotten with Johnny is 4-9, and I was really proud of that. I went on a big winning streak and thought, hey man, maybe I'm getting a lot better at this. Maybe I'll reach floor 10. As of recording this on April 5th of 2024, I am now a floor 5 or 6 player. I forget which. That brings me to my first dislike about Strife, which I will get to all the likes, by the way. I'm starting with the dislikes real quick. Uh, and that is definitely the ranking system. The online connection, the netcode, stellar. Love it. It's amazing. It's really good. My biggest problem with Strive at the moment is definitely its ranking system. I don't like Tower. And I know Tower probably isn't considered a real, real kind of skill performance that makes like a skill. I would say the word is representation, but the problem is that it is such a bad indicator that I'm getting mixed signals all over the place. One of the big examples of this is that the farthest I've gotten at a tournament in terms of set count, not necessarily placement, in terms of set count, was at Frosty Faustings 2034 when I went, I think it was 2-2. That is the highest I've gotten out of any fighting game, actually. I think maybe Smash. I might have done 3-2. But the thing with these games is that even though I have 230 hours, I'm not at a point where I feel like I am really good. I feel like I'm above average. I don't think I'm amazing. But that is just something that I kind of have accepted as a kind of a first-time fighting game player. And since Strive came out, I've tried other games. I've tried Street Fighter 6, I've tried Tekken 8. I love those games. They're really fun. But I stuck with Strive the most because I love that so much about it. I love the music, I love the character design, I love the art style. It's everything, man. And honestly, I think my biggest complaint with the current state of Strive is not Wild Assault. It's not who's the best character in the game. It's not Happy Chaos. Not saying Happy Chaos is the best character in the game, but I know that Happy Chaos was a big problem for a while. It's that I don't feel where I actually am in terms of skill and where I can improve. If I met with like a coach, if people still do that, I don't know if people do that, maybe that's just an old Smash Brothers thing, or maybe if I went on Metafy or something and talked to someone and was like, hey, can you do this? And I've met a lot of great players and give me good advice. It's just like, I feel that there's not really a clear indicator of how good I actually am, and that's really, it can drive someone away from a game. It drove me away from the game for a little bit. I was a while where I did not play at all, and I didn't want to go back to it for a couple weeks because I was just like, not just because I was playing Street Fighter or Tekken, it was just because I felt so discouraged. And I feel like Street Fighter's and Tekken's current like ranking system, I don't know which to prefer more. I like the idea of having it to where there's a point system. I don't like it to where it feels random. That this is for Strive specifically. I don't like it where it feels random. That like if I lose against 3 separate people, it's just I'm done. Like, I rank down and I'm like in a new floor. Like so many times I will be playing Strive and I'll go, oh, here's my play session I'm playing right now, and I am at floor 6. Let's just say I'm at floor 6. I lose to some guy, maybe it's I win 1 and lose 2 or whatever, and then it becomes, oh yeah, you've ranked down to floor 5. And I would say I am above a floor 6 player. If I'm gonna say the lowest, I am floor 7, highest floor 9. I can beat people in floor 9 and 8 and 7 and below. That is confusing as a first-time player of fighting games. I mean, I'm not really, I wouldn't tell myself like a newbie at the game anymore. It's just like, or even a newbie to fighting games. It's just, I find that I don't feel like it's clear how good I actually am. And maybe you could just say, oh, go to tournaments, go to more tournaments, right? There isn't a tournament every single day when I want to play the game. There's not a tournament every single week. I mean, for some people there might be because they have weeklies, but I have a bi-weekly in my area, so that's not necessarily a complaint of the bi-weekly, it's just a complaint of reality, I guess. And I kind of wanted to give like some the point of this video is I want to give thoughts. Maybe my perspective is completely like not helpful. Maybe my perspective is just maybe my perspective is not very useful because I'm one person and I maybe don't share the same perspective as others. And yeah, like I just feel that Strive is so good. Like I really want this game to succeed as hard as possible. Like my big thing is that what I hope happens for the future Strive, if I could have anything, if I could have 2 wishes magically granted, it'd be that they make the online experience, not the online netcode, the online experience better and more indicative of your skill, and also have season 5 be, or season 4 or 5, whichever, be like more original characters. That's something I really want, because I really don't want the game just to fizzle out and die when all the characters from previous games are in Strive. I really don't want that. Like, that would make me so sad, because even though the game came out in 2021, it's been 3 years. This game's only had 3 seasons as recording. Like, Slayer is teased at this point. Avo got released a few weeks ago. But honestly, like, I really want this game to succeed, man. Like, I love Strive. I think a lot of people love Strive. I know a lot of people who played extra beforehand some people do not like Strive, because maybe it's changing Gatlings or changing how meter works. I understand some of that, because it's not exactly what you're used to. Not saying that's like a bad thing. You know, you can have that perspective and that feeling of, I want something different out of this, which is perfectly fine. And something else I wanted to say regarding that, actually, is maybe we should get more experimental with, specifically, like, if we can have more insight into how the game is being developed. Like, obviously, Developer Backyard, better than a lot of other companies are doing at the moment. We don't really know much about some fighting games in terms of, like, what's going on with, like, I guess behind the scenes, if that makes sense, like, what they're trying to look for. But the first thing that comes to mind is that maybe we get, like, I would like this for a lot of fighting games, actually. I think this would be really cool. Is maybe it's a Steam, like, PC-only thing. You know how, like, on Steam, there's, like, the betas category of, if you, like, right-click the game, then you can go to the beta in the properties tab. I think that if we got, like, an experimental, it's just online rooms, training mode, and 1v1s and like local 1v1s where you can just try out things that they're thinking of doing. Maybe don't put new characters on it immediately, but like be like, oh, maybe we've been thinking of adding, maybe a new move, and we want to see how it works out. Or even though that's a lot more work than actually like, maybe changing frame data, like I think that if they can experiment with some of the system mechanics as well, maybe make meter 25 like segments, like 4 segments 25 25 meters, so it's like a 4 thing, and supers cost 2, and then Roman cancel maybe costs 1 depending on the Roman cancel. I don't know, but I just think that the game overall, if you want my opinion on the game, it's my favorite fighting game I've ever played. I love it. It's so good. But this is just me rambling about a newcomer's perspective. Someone who is kind of got their hand in game development a little bit, as in like I'm a student for game development, and like I want to learn more about it and all that. Like, I'm getting started on that path, and I've done a lot of research on fighting games. I live and breathe fighting games. But like that was only up until recently, and I remember a moment when I was playing Street Fighter V before 6 came out. I think it was a while before 6 came out, and I was like, I tried to do Sakura combos because Sakura's my favorite character in Street Fighter, and I was like, man, I cannot do this. And if I went back to that training mode, not training mode, the combo trials now, I could probably do it. I could probably do that. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to ramble on a little bit about my perspective, and yeah.